the Beretta BRX-1. Let's check it out. Beretta has been making firearms for close to 500 years. It's the oldest firearm company in existence. They make really high quality handguns, rifles, shotguns. But today we're going to take a look at a first for Beretta, and this is their BRX-1. It is their first hunting rifle. This is a straight pullback action. It is super fast. This gun is totally modular. It's completely ambidextrous. You can change out the calibers. Incredibly modular in almost every way. And because Beretta makes military firearms, this has actually been through all the NATO tests. And they put over 120,000 rounds of testing through these rifles. So we're going to go through all the features and what makes the BRX a really outstanding rifle, beside the fact that it's a Beretta. And we want to give a big thank you to Nate over at Gunzonedeals and Beretta for sending the BRX-1 for this review. All right, guys, we have the BRX-1. This is a bolt action rifle, but it's a completely different type design. There are a lot of different features. We're going to go through each one. The modularity is definitely one that we want to look at, the ease of disassembly. But one thing in particular is the straight bolt. It just pulls straight back. There's no action of unlocking the bolt system. So it's a very fast movement, and then it just locks right back. So it eliminates two different actions, and plus it stays right on target. You don't have to turn the rifle, you don't have to adjust it. It's just a straight back pull. And that in itself is something that's not brand new. Obviously the Swiss perfected that with the K31s and some of the other models, and there's some other rifles that have that straight pullback. But with most modern rifles, we've seen the standard bolt action. And we're also going to talk about how strong this action is, even though it is a straight pullback. It's got a beautiful polymer stock, of course free float barrel, and this is a 22-inch barrel, which they do make a 20-inch for 308. They make a 22-inch 6.5 Creedmoor. Then they make a version for 300 Winchester Magnum. All right, let's go ahead and drop our magazine. We're going to pull the bolt back, check the chamber, and the gun is empty. Now the scope we were using was one of the primary arms. This is their HUD DMR ACSS reticle system. It's for 308, which suits well with the 6.5 Creedmoor. And we have one of the American Defense QD mounts. Now honestly, for me to set this up like I was going to use it, I would probably just put rings on here and do away with the QD mount. But it does give you that option. Now first, let's take a look at the straight pull action. Of course, you see this cant here with the bolt. You can just bring it back. We do have a really beefy bolt. This is 8 lugs. If you go up to the 300 Winchester Magnum, they go to 16 lugs. The bolt is a straight pullback, so as you're firing, you can pull it straight back without losing the view through your scope. And I think that's a big plus. It's a very smooth action as well, and it just pulls back. The one thing I noticed is it doesn't lock up. Usually when you have a rifle like this, you pull the trigger and then that allows for this to disengage, but it doesn't. And so when I first took it to the range, I really was kind of concerned. It was solid the whole time. I mean, it just locks in and the bolt rotates and then it locks it in. As soon as you pull it back, it unlocks. Man, it is super smooth and very fast to shoot. Now again, the bolt is switchable to the other side very quickly, and then also you can take the bolt and you can turn it. Now one of the things about this system is that it's really based on a lot of the military style systems for semi-automatics. And because it's a straight pullback, they can use that technology to really be able to get this to be very reliable, and yet it makes it a very strong action in this kind of configuration. This rifle was taken through NATO test, and most of your bolt action rifles don't receive that. It was extreme cold, it was all kind of environmental conditions, a lot of water poured on it while they were firing it. And guys, they put 120,000 rounds through a group of these rifles when they were testing it, 70 different type ammos. They were really wanting to make this not only a very strong action, but a very safe rifle to carry in the field. But I think one of the beautiful things about this design is that you can change out calibers, you can change out the bolt system. I mean, this is more of a very modular system that interacts with other parts being put in it. And that just means the tolerances are very consistent within the different parts. Now starting here at the back, we have a rubber butt pad, and there's also spacers, and you can adjust this out to whatever length of pull you want. And the design is called the negative comb. It does give you somewhat of a cheek riser here to be able to line up with your sights. And then you have a pistol grip, and you'll notice this different panel here. This can be taken out and you can add whatever type pistol grip you want to add to it. And that's coming up later, but there's going to be a lot of different accessories built around this rifle. Now you'll notice this recessed area right here in the stock. So when you bring your hand and you fit it to the stock, to the pistol grip, it gives you an area right here to not only keep your finger out of the trigger guard, but when you bring your finger down to engage your trigger, it's a very comfortable, natural feel to it. The receiver is anodized aluminum, which makes it really nice, but yet it doesn't add a lot of weight to it. So it gives it some strength around your bolt carrier and your bolt. Now the safety system is actually pretty innovative. When it's in this position all the way to the back, this is in their blocked position. And that means you're not going to be able to actuate the bolt. It's locked. Also, your trigger's locked. And so this is really how they recommend storing it, or if you have a round in the chamber, you want to be extremely careful, you can get it in this position. Then just take and push up on that little button, and then it goes to your standard safe mode. This does allow for the bolt to come back, but it still blocks the trigger from being able to fire a round. Then we take it and push forward and up. Now we have the red mark and we're ready to fire. And it's really intuitive because it's right here at your thumb, and you can just bring it around and you can engage that system really easily. Here we have it on fire. We can just go ahead, bring our bolt back, pull the trigger, all good. If we push it up, drop it all the way to the block position, the bolt locks up, the trigger is inactive. Again, take it up and just bring it to the safety notch, which has the white line, and then we can still bring our bolt back, but it does keep the trigger from being able to fire. And when it comes to the forearm, we do have some ridges right here, and it just molds to your hand. One of the things too about this rifle is it is very balanced. With the barrel system at the back, at the front, and then you have your stock system that's lighter weight, it really gives this a very nice balance when you're in the field. You also have a sling swivel here, and then we have a sling swivel here at the front. And this can actually be used for a bipod as well. Now the barrel is slightly tapered from the chamber, and then it just kind of evens out all the way. So it's more of a medium profile barrel than, you know, a small pencil barrel, and it gives you some rigidity, especially shooting out at long ranges. Of course, being a free float barrel, I mean, it just goes right down the stock all the way to the end of the barrel. So that just gives you, again, nothing touching the barrel. It's going to allow for really good accuracy. Now, it does have 5/8 by 24 inch thread pitch, which is standard for most of your US threads. And then you have a nicely knurled thread protector. One thing you will notice though when it's on here is that it does have a cavity around it, and this is going to help protect your muzzle. Keeps you from getting kind of dings in it, and this will preserve your accuracy. Let's go ahead and make sure the gun's unloaded. We're going to drop our magazines, 5 rounds, bring back our bolt. We're going to check to make sure that the chamber is empty. Then we're going to take over here at the other side, there's a little lever right here, and you just bring it up, and then you can pull your bolt right out, and that stops the bolt from moving out of the action. Now the bolt system, absolutely beautiful stainless. Then we have our extractor and we have our ejector right here. Based really on most of your semi-automatic rifles with the lug system. And again, that has been proven to be an excellent system, and it's been incorporated into this barrel system. Now here we have this small little button, and you can push this and it will bring your bolt system right out. Now we can take and we can disassemble it. But this is what's pretty ingenious. You can take your bolt and turn it in the other direction, and now we have left-hand eject, which allows this to be able to be switched with our bolt handle. With this one, we've got our button right here, press it down, and then we can just release our bolt handle. Now when I was first doing this, I thought, well, if you put it on the other side, it's going to be sticking up. But the way they have this keyed, and you can see the different channels, this allows for this to ride in the right configuration when you switch it to the other side. So here we're going to go ahead and we're going to have it in that down position, and then we put it in. It's stopped by this little button, and we're going to press it in, and then it goes in. I mean, that is super simple to change this to left-handed shooting. And guys, honestly, if you're a left-handed shooter and you're limited on the type rifles and the models and availability, this makes an excellent option to be able just to switch this to left hand and use it that way. Next, we take our bolt and we're going to put it right back in. So we turn it over, go ahead and put it back in the channel. Just depress that little button that holds it in, and then it locks in. And you can see that it goes in that channel right there. So this system is so modular and so easy to switch out. Now when it comes to the trigger, it is fully adjustable, and there are 3 different settings. You can go from 2.1 pounds to 2.6 pounds to 3.3 pounds. And I'm going to show you how easy that is to adjust. Right here, take this little stainless lever and lift it up. And while you're lifting up, just pull out your trigger pack. Now you want to move it forward, and then it comes out through the bottom, through the magazine well. Right here on the side is your adjustments. And so we can take it, move it, and then lock it into the different positions. It's that simple to adjust. I mean, that is ingenious. Here you can see the hammer system and your trigger pack, very well polished. Everything is very well done. And honestly, with those spring systems, I mean, this is very inspired by your semi-automatic actions. Then to reinsert your trigger pack, bring it through your mag well, bring it over, just line it up, and it locks into place automatically. Just make sure it's all the way back. There we go. Now notice that this area comes up and through, and all of this is hammer forged as well as the barrel. And so your chamber, everything in this area, again, is hammer forged, even where your Picatinny rail mates right to the top. You can change out your bolt system, you can do whatever, and it will retain 0 because it locks it into the chamber. Now to reinsert your bolt, just get it down to the rails and it just goes straight forward. You don't have to hit any levers. Bring it back, it locks in. As far as the trigger pull, right here we have a very almost imperceivable take up right to there, and then a really nice break. And of course, this can be adjusted to the 3 different settings according to your taste. And the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge. 1 pound, 13.8 ounces. So this is on the lowest setting. Now let's take it to the middle setting. 2 pounds, 10.3 ounces. 2 pounds, 11.2 ounces. All right, we have some different type ammos we're shooting with 6.5 Creedmoor. We're going to shoot some American Eagle. We have some Federal Fusion. We have some Hornady Match, and we have some Gorilla. And we're just going to be testing them out. But we're going to start with our accuracy with the standard American Eagle. Very easy to load. This does hold 5 rounds. That high-vis magazine, something else. Guys, this is Beretta's first big game bolt action rifle. They've made a number of different guns, shotguns, military rifles, sporting rifles, and also, of course, handguns. But this is really Beretta, a first for Beretta. And man, they have really put a lot of thought into this thing. I mean, I've been really anticipating getting a hold of this. This one's in 6.5 Creedmoor. It comes in 308 as well. Really bright colored magazine. You're not going to lose this.
This is the green and the black, which is absolutely, I love the contrast, but it does come in just black as well. A threaded barrel. But the big plus, or a couple of the big pluses, is first off, you have that just straight pullback. It's super fast. You're not lifting up, pulling back, and unlocking the lugs and putting it back down. I mean, it just comes straight out. And then also, you can actually move the bolt handle and you can turn the bolt around. Great for left-handed shooters. So if you have a left-handed shooter in your family and you want to switch this out back and forth, you can. Or if you're just left-handed, you want something. I mean, this makes it really easy to be able to do. But really, with this straight pullback, it just comes straight back. The bolt doesn't move. Your magazine fits in really smoothly, and then load around. I mean, it is just extremely fast. I mean, Beretta, you know, they're very smooth. They've been around for almost 500 years. And they know a thing or two about making firearms. And this is a really innovative bolt action rifle. Great for hunting, but really, in this black and green, I mean, this could be used for tactical applications. So, kudos to Beretta. This is a really incredible rifle. The sad thing is I've got to return it. It's brand new. They're selling them like crazy. And but I will be getting one of these at some point.
Well, guys, we shot a number of different groups. This one, we had 4-shot group here. I had one flyer. I knew when I pulled that one. And here we had another 5-shot group, and then we had one that was just a little bit outside, but it's still a 1 MOA group. And here I was getting a little slack, and we still had a 1 MOA group. Here we got to the end of the day, only had 4 rounds. Had a good group here. Manufacturer suggested retail price is $1,599. At Guns on Deals, it's $1,514. And that's definitely a price that really suits more of your premium quality rifles. This is a top-of-the-line rifle, and then with all the innovations and the modularity, it really puts this rifle ahead of its time. So guys, the BRX-1 is incredibly modular. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with that straight pullback action. It's super fast. And whether you're going on a big game hunt or you want to set up a precision rifle, the BRX-1 makes an excellent choice. And again, we really give a big thank you to Nate over at Gunzonedeals and to Beretta for sending the BRX-1 for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Now, as far as the trigger pull, we're going to do it this way. And guys, the trigger is, whew, that trigger's sweet.
But one of the beautiful things is the way this pulls back. It's just, oh. There I go, trying to pull this stupid thing up. Ah, pathetic. Good thing we got extra ammo, baby.
That's why I left it there.
Yeah, but that's all, folks.